Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Other Side of Addiction podcast. I am your host, Al Richards, and I am really excited about today's show. We have two freaking amazing gentlemen on. Now, some of you guys might notice this guy in the blonde hair here with all the plaques and different things behind him, Dr. Robb Kelly. He was on our show just not too long ago. Dr. Robb, thank you for being here. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Al. Great to be here. Even better to be here with my buddy, Adam.
Yeah. That's the other guy that we got joining us. Who we did a little bit of chatting before the show. I feel like I've known this guy already all my life. Great energy, Mr. Adam Jablin. Adam, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here.
Al, thanks for having both of us. I couldn't be happier to be here with Dr. Robb and yourself. Let's dive in.
Thank you. Well, you know, the reason why we have Dr. Robb and Adam on today is Courtney, who I have just become really good friends with through just kind of like social media. What a lovely individual, great person. She reached out to me and said, hey, Dr. Robb and Adam are putting on this conference called the Neuro Hero Conference. Would you be willing to have them on the show to talk about it? And I'm like, heck yeah. So she sent me just a little bit of information on it. And I'm like, oh yeah, definitely I want to have these guys on. And for you guys that don't know Dr. Robb and Adam, these guys are walking, talking examples of what can be achieved through resilience, gratitude, and a positive mindset. These guys fit right in with what I've been doing with my life for the past 14 years. And I will continue to work on until they put me in the ground. So guys, again, thank you for being here. What the heck got you guys to come up with this conference and name it the Neuro Hero Conference?
That's really interesting. You should ask Al, because myself and Adam, we never collaborate with anyone. I want to put that up front, my company. And I'm sure Adam doesn't collaborate with anybody, but we come together, we met each other on an online meeting, and we just clicked, man. So we've shared patience and everything, We've been over to Boca loads of times and hung out. He's just become one of my best friends, there's no doubt about that. And we always talked about bringing Adam's expertise and my expertise together. And we talked about it for like 2 years, and every now and again, wouldn't it be great? So the Neuro Hero, we got the name from. The Neuro is the neuroscience behind success. The neuroscience behind addiction, success, childhood trauma. It's all new science that we need to know to push forward. And Adam has a phenomenal program. It's the success rate is sky high, called a Hero Project. So we put the two together, the Neuro Hero conference, and decided that we're just going to go down and we're going to put this conference on, because I was sick of going to conferences and coming away with nothing. It's like, yeah, it was good, $5 a ticket, but I didn't come away with sustenance from it. It was kind of, if you do this, you might do this, and da. But no one said, hey, listen, this is what you do to place yourself here. We're not just shouting from the stage. We're going to educate you. And that's what we put on. We decided the date, and the rest is history, so to speak.
Wow. So Adam, can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. So a little more wonderful detail. When I started I didn't know coaching was even a thing. I'm glad I didn't, because it's the most saturated space there is now. So thank God I had blinders on all these years. So when I started, my years and my experience and my connections in recovery just kind of rocket launched me. But I stay in my lane, and I know what I'm good at, and I know when I need help. And I had a client that truly needed Dr. Robb's help. Like it was something that I knew I couldn't handle. I didn't have the education. I didn't have the experience. I didn't have the whereabouts to bring this person from here to here, right? Maybe I could put some hero in them, but I really couldn't change the brain. And I called Dr. Robb, and Dr. Robb was so generous. He's like, listen, I'll help this man if you stay on with me. That was our first real Neuro Hero project. And we have done many since. When we found out that these worlds work so well together, it really just kind of relaunched our careers in different ways. And then in the last 2 years, Dr. Robb's been asked to speak on this stage. I've been asked over here. And we finally looked at each other like, why aren't we doing this together? You know, and bringing that, you know, the information that you do, the information that I do, the experiences we've had with these clients. So we're lit up like Christmas trees. We just can't wait to share it.
You know, I love these two stories. And the reason why, so just a quick little thing here. About 2 years ago, I had this beautiful young lady down in St. George, Utah, which is about 350 miles south of Salt Lake City, reach out to me and said, hey, someone gave me your name and said that you're in the recovery community and I'd like to schedule a meeting, sit down and chat with you. So we scheduled a Zoom meeting. We got on this Zoom call and we were on this call probably for an hour and a half, possibly 2 hours. It was like we've known one another all our lives. Now, here she is like in her 30s and I'm in my late 50s, right? And she was telling me a little bit about her story, about her recovery journey and how one man saved her life through inspiration. And I was telling her the story about what I went through with my wife's alcoholism. Anyway, long story short, as we started getting to know one another, and she drove all the way up to from St. George to be a guest on my podcast, and we just ended up becoming really good friends. I pretty much adopted her as one of my daughters, and we started talking. And we're like, gosh, I've had this dream about wanting to do some more public speaking and wanting to get up and share a little bit more of my story. And she's like, oh my gosh, Al, so have I. So we started talking. We held our very first one last August in St. George at the Dixie Convention Center. We probably only had maybe 75 people show up. By the time it was over, we probably dwindled down to about 50. We walked out of there on such a freaking high. It was so amazing because she told her story. I told my story. We threw some inspiration in there. We held our second one here in Sandy, Utah on April 15th of this year. We had over 130 something people attend this one. After this show, people were coming up going, when's your next one? When's your next one? And we're like, oh my gosh, we're making a difference, right? I was probably on cloud 9 for a week and a half. Now we're planning our third one for October 7th. And we have a really good feeling we'll sell out at this one. It's very inexpensive. We're not well-known speakers, right? We're not well up there like you two gentlemen. However, we're starting to gain ground, and you know, we're only charging like $45 for a ticket. And our whole thing is just to fill the place, right? We'll get our name out there, and the inspiration that you can share, the stories that you guys have that you can get out there to change someone's life, I mean, it's priceless.
The thing is, though, I mean, it's like we look at these conferences. You're gonna, Adam says it amazing. You're gonna walk in Clark Kent. You're gonna come out Superman with a neuroscience behind it to make it happen. So we didn't want to put on a conference and just be like everybody else. You know, we put our knowledge together. This is going to be, guys, I'm telling you now, I'll refund your money if you don't agree with me. This conference is going to change your life. If you finish for 2 days and you go and go, you know something, I'll give you your money back. I'll pay out of my own pocket because it has to be special. It has to inspire. I mean, we both have businesses on the side to run. Of course we do, and they're very successful. But at the end of the day, it's about how can we take you from here to here? Because the neuroscience behind it tells us that we can. So if you're sat at home going, oh my God, I wish I could, you've got to come for that reason only. Your business will grow, you will grow, your relationships will grow. We're going to clear that childhood trauma up for you so you can go on to be anybody you want to do. And quantum physics backs this up. You know, if you can visualize it, you can hold it. And that is what the conference is about. We're going to change you as a person. So during the 2 days, I with my thinking, my research behind the neuroscience, the biology and the chemistry and the behavioral science side, I'm telling you guys, your freaking DNA is going to change when you come out of that building on the second day. That's how good it's going to be. I mean, when two great people come together and we put our time and energy into it, if we're not helping people, what the hell are we doing? What are we doing? You know, this is about taking you from here to here. And I can categorically say this, Al, that me and Adam, we've never failed yet. And this weekend, we're never going to fail again. That's just the way we are. Boom, baby, let's get to the conference.
Al, it's 100% true. Now, listen, he doesn't speak about himself a lot. He just doesn't. You could do the research. Dr. Robb was just given an award and an honor from Harvard when it comes to neuroscience. The only doctor. There's amazing doctors out in addiction and neuro, but he's the only one that got that award from Harvard. So he is the master at that. And the way my brain works, and for some reason there's a population that understands the way I work, is I'll see things almost in movies or through song, right? So imagine you get to sit with Robin Williams you're that broken, that much fight in you. You're Matt Damon, and you're gonna get to be with Dr. Robb. You know what I mean? And he's got the skills to do it in 2 days. I've seen him do it in 1 day. You know what I mean? In 2 days to change the neuroplasticity in your brain. And by the way, he's done it for me. You know what I mean? I actually used to have a question in my head that didn't serve me, which was how am I going to be as successful as my father? And it would just eat me up. And he changed that question to how many people can I serve today? How many people can, and when I did that, that's when, if you want to say, all the abundance and all the riches came my way. And then if you need to see another movie, I'm kind of like Mr. Miyagi. You're going to be like, why are you saying wax on, wax off? Why are you saying defense? But then after all that, I'm going to start throwing punches at you, and you're going to know how to block it, deflect it, go through that hero's journey. And you add us too, with our personalities, our love, our passion for helping people. I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah. And I see right where you guys are coming from. And you guys have, both of you have said the number one thing, right? It's helping other individuals.
Of course.
Because that creates that snowball effect, right? You change one person's life, that person is also going to start helping another person, right? And it just continues to grow, because right now in this day and age and the way the world is right now, we all need some inspiration. We all need some belief and some love in ourselves, because I think that's a lot of the problem, right? Fear has got everyone scared. And even to take a first step, I remember the first day I did my very, very first podcast, I had no clue what the hell I was doing. However, it scared the living crap out of me. And because of that, I knew that was the reason why I needed to do it, because it scared the living crap out of me. And to have guests on like you, Adam, and Dr. Robb, you guys are teaching me as well. And it's a journey I will continue, like I said, to go on, because there is no finish line when it comes to bettering yourself. That's how I see it. You can have goals and reach a goal, right, and hit another one. But when it comes to bettering yourself, it is constant. That's just how I see it.
It has to be. We have to be teaching on a daily basis and being taught. But you said, I'm listening to this or watching this, guys, well, I can't make a difference. Listen, when we compliment people, there's a great chemical in the brain called dopamine. Now, it's created in the gut, so you have to be eating good or better than you should. Dopamine is released into the brain when you compliment somebody. So here's how to change a family's life with 3 words. Next time you're in a built-up area, and sneakers are always the best. We spoke about this last time. See somebody with nice sneakers on, go, hey man, nice sneakers. Nice sneakers. Hey man, nice sneakers. That's all you said. As he walks past you, turn around and watch him. He's going to look down at his sneakers at least 2 times. Now his day's been made. Now he goes on to the wife, and because he's in a good mood, she's in a good mood. Then the mother-in-law calls because he's in the mood, and he goes on and on and on until you never know the effect you can have on people. And I think Adam, I got a lot of this from Adam, would you believe? Because when I first met him, he blew my mind. I'm like, oh my God, my wife, I'm sure, fell in love with him. My sister adores him, my brother, because he brings you in straight to the heart, and he makes you feel wanted, and he makes you feel this great person. So I kind of, he doesn't know this, I kind of wanted to achieve what he had. Because the very first second I saw him, it was like, oh my God, I love this guy. So I've come up to where Adam is, that we can change people's lives in an instant. We can change them in a nanosecond. How long does it take to create a neural pathway? Probably about 3 seconds, that's all. Get up tomorrow morning, instead of brushing with your right, brush with your left, neural pathway change, redirection from self-sabotage thought patterns to new thought patterns. That's what it's about. If you add the program, the hero program, onto that, you are not going to fail. You are really not going to fail. It's 100% guaranteed. So when you do come to the conference, and I know you will, and you see this amazing 2 days and what we have to offer, it's going to blow your mind. But apart from that, it's going to change you as a person. I mean, if it doesn't change you again, what are we doing? Me and Aslan got lots of more things to do on a daily basis and waste time and your money on something that's just normal. We don't do normal. We do the highest of the high where we can go. But Al, you're right, you know, we're all still learning. I learned something yesterday, it blew my mind. So, and I think once we're open, we move forward. But me, I tell you, from experience, me and Adam, okay, we don't want something from you. We want something for you. So if we can leave you with a bit of knowledge, inspiration, then that is kind of our paid in full, to be honest.
Now imagine what Dr. Robb just said, right? All of that together and go to his original story. But imagine what we're able to do in 2 days rather than a 25-minute podcast. The simple act of, hey man, nice shoes, right? Hey man, nice shoes. And then the guy looks down twice and he starts realizing it. And then later he goes home, he journeys a compliment, or he makes somebody feels better. And that very small version is the hero's journey of separation. You separate his mind, you separate from the original story of where they're at, this call to action. Then the initiation. Dr. Robb is the old wise mentor and says, hey man, nice shoes. Kind of like Luke, use the force. Kind of like Neo, take the red pill. You know, kind of like you're not really Clark Kent, you're Kal-El from another planet. He initiates him. Then the guy starts looking down at his shoes, and then the return home, he starts passing that information on to the people he loves. With that information, just that 3 initial step of the hero's journey and that one compliment, that took us 20 seconds. Imagine what we're going to do in 2 hours.
Right.
You know, and there's a big difference. This is why I love Dr. Robb. His humility is I wish I had his humility, to be honest. But there's a big difference between me saying, hey, you know what, I'm gonna call and we're gonna use an atomic bomb, or Joe Biden saying it, right? I can say all the neuroplasticity, I can say brush with your left hand, but are you gonna trust a doctor? Or, you know what I mean? Like, you need somebody that is established, that's done the work. I'm proud to be a coach, but I don't want to be linked into this influencer world where I'm just a meme and I'm just a thing on social media. You know, I love doing the work, but who am I going to trust? A doctor. You know what I mean? When I'm sick, I go to a doctor. I'm a coach. I'll get you to win. But when you're sick, go to a doctor. Don't go to a coach. That's why I love teaming.
Yeah. Well, and we all need that help, right, Adam?
Yeah.
I mean, we all need someone who's walked the journey to help us, right? I mean, it's like a lot of times when I was doing my best, I was my wife's psychiatrist for a long time and her therapist during her addiction. I was a shitty one because I had no clue what she was going through, right? Except I thought I did. So who's best to help? I mean, you two guys have walked the walk. You guys have done it. You're doing it right now. Why would people not want to listen to you? Because you're not bullshitting them. You guys have climbed that stairway, and you're still climbing. And now you're lending your hand out, saying, "Here, let me up a few of these steps, and I'll help you continue."
That's what it's about. If you want to achieve greatness, make somebody feel great.
Yeah.
Stay humble, compliment 3 people every day, and do what you're supposed to do. If you want to become a CEO of that big tower over there, that company earning hundreds of millions of dollars a year, there's no difference between him and you, just that he believes he can do it. And we see that through life a lot of the times is no belief. You know, this is today's world. We're never going to be tall enough, blonde enough, rich enough, or thin enough. I mean, that's just the world. You get one thing, you move on. You're always worried about. Fear doesn't exist. If you're living in fear, it's about the future. If you're depressed, it's about the past.
Yeah.
You know, live in the moment. So, this is what, only till about 6 years ago, I realized my greatness, and I have problems with it today. Because an old man once said to me, you don't want to reach the age of 80, look back and go, oh my goodness, I was really good. See, me and my friend, my father died a couple of years ago, and my mom had passed away a year before that. So we went back there to sort all the house out. And when we were doing it, he pulled this black and white photograph of me and him when we were in our teens, both bodybuilding. And he goes, oh my God, Rob, have you seen this? And I walked over like, wow. And he said, look how thin our waists were. Look how huge. We looked amazing, man. Look how good looking we were. Oh my God, those were the days, Rob. And I said, but we didn't know those were the days back then. We just kind of took it for granted, even though we didn't think we were amazing, fantastic. And then I said to him, what if today's one of those days? And by doing that, you live in your greatness. I have a few haters out there, I'm sure everybody does, but when the haters, I'll never meet a hater that's doing better than me, by the way, but when the haters start paying my mortgage, I'm going to listen to them, because we together are a force to be reckoned with, and nobody in the world can challenge us with that, because we have two unique sides, two successful people that have come together to create this thunderbolt. And you're gonna really struggle this year to find a conference as good as ours. With all the rah-rah and stuff out there, it's like, what? Look at the core, okay? Look at people look at the core. Go to the source. Where's this stuff coming from? You know, who wants to, if you want to be a millionaire, just shout millionaire. Shut up. That's not how it works. You need the steps to get you there. And everybody has this in them. Everybody's a leader. Babies are born with two fears, man. The fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Every other fear is man-made. Wait till your father gets home. Listen, if you think it's BS is what it is, why don't you be fearless? Why don't you run around tomorrow, guys, as if you was an 8-year-old with a clown's costume on? Because at the end of the day, nobody cares. I was thinking everybody cared. I'm like, oh my God, do I look at it? Nobody cares. They've got their own problems. So get down to the conference and become great. Become amazing, become fantastic, because you are that leader. And if you're not that leader in training and want to learn more, this is not a conference for you. Go to another one and shout up and sing songs and everything. This isn't for you. This is for serious people who want to take their career, their life, their father, whatever it is, their parenting to a different level, including the addiction side. You can fully recover. And I say addiction with everything, because everybody has an addiction, good or bad. And I hear lots of times, well, I go to the gym, that's a good addiction. It is, but if you're going on vacation with your family, and the first thing you do when you arrive there is start searching for the nearest gym, you have a problem, my friend. It's the balance. This is all about balance. And when you find balance in your life, you find peace. And when you find peace in your life, becomes greatness. Keep learning, keep moving forward, and don't take any crap off anybody. Because there's only two kinds of people in this world: the people that love you for who you are, and the people that want to be you. Bang, baby!
I love it. And Al, what I love about what we're doing is, imagine what you just got from Dr. Robb and the feeling of Dr. Robb. There's a reason. And right now it's very intimate. And Dr. Robb and I said, as we start this thing together, we want to do it in an environment that we know everyone's going to feel very loved, very seen, and it's an environment that him and I have mastered. So it's going to be in this restaurant called Matteo's. Okay, it's the number one Italian restaurant in South Florida. I mean, I'm telling you, some of the crime families still go there to this day. They have every celebrity you could ever, every celebrity you ever mentioned goes to Matteo's. That's where we're having it, family style. About 100 people, limited, right? And Dr. Robb and I eat there all the time. And when we go there, we'll sit there for, ask Dr. Robb, 3-4 hours. People are coming to our table. And before you know it, it goes from a dinner to a celebration to him and I actually counseling people. We're there for like 4 hours. I mean, so, it went from a dinner down, everyone's happy. Now Dr. Robb's helping this guy out to get cigarettes. He's helping this guy with his divorce. I'm helping this guy with his drinking problem. I'm helping this guy's daughter with where she wants to go in life. And we're there for 4 hours, but we're bringing that environment to our conference. So everyone's going to feel very seen. It's going to be very intimate with the best food there is, lights all around, and we're going to deliver all this information home.
Now that sounds like one hell of a conference.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And I hope you guys are going to videotape it. Are you guys going to videotape it as well to get out there?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And if you like the sound of this but can't get in because the tickets are going fast, there's another conference in February. We're not sure where yet. We're going to pick that specifically, but it may be in Dallas. Get the right place So these conferences are going to be 4 times a year. So you're going to be able to keep coming back to these conferences as we see you grow every time you come back, and then we push you even further, because the human mind and what we are told around us, we never know. Nobody compliments anybody anymore, you know? So we kind of forget how good we are. I was in the Dallas offices a couple of years ago, and this guy came in, he was suicidal. Took him in the office for an hour. He walked out, he's singing, he's skipping, he's saying bye, hugging all the staff. And this young nurse said, "Did you see what Dr. Robb just did? It's freaking amazing. God, he's such an amazing guy." And the older nurse says, "I know, right? Have you told him?" "Oh, no, I mean, he already knows. Nobody knows." Okay? So this is about communication and dialogue with other people, so we can tell you and see and push you to the greatness that you are, because we never see ourselves for who we are. We're always worried about stuff. We're always fearful. We're always thinking, overthinking things. Can I? And with the childhood trauma, what happens is something that happens there as a child, you will not correlate there. It takes somebody special to put them together. But as soon as you do, you realize why you're doing this. And I'll give you a really quick one. The daughters of an alcoholic father that come home and argue or even beat the wife in front of that child will grow up to attract the alcoholic that ends up beating her. And she'll never leave him. Do you know why? Because that was the core beliefs as a child. Yeah, and now that's to the extent that if she leaves and goes to find a nice guy who treats her well, she will self-sabotage that relationship because it feels too comfortable. So what 90% of the people that come to me is, "Well, I'm just going to say no. Well, I'm just going to walk out of that relationship before they do it to me." I mean, that's no way to live. You know, we have to know our worth. We have to know our value. And when you're listening to this, guys, can you imagine if today's one of those days you can look back on and go, "Wow, you know, that crazy podcast to listen to, man. I'm definitely going to the conference." And when you see him next year to the next conference, the guy's running 600 men with his own business. That's what we're talking about. You're not going to come in there and go back to the same humdrum life. You're not going to do it. We wouldn't waste our time and we wouldn't waste your money. Believe me, this is something special that you need to get to.
As Dr. Robb said, he knows how to change the mind, right? Actually, from a doctor, neuroplasticity, he changes the mind and the mindset. As a matter of fact, when I was getting clean and sober, and my literature says our disease centers in our mind, right? That my drinking, my drugging was but a symptom. Well, Dr. Robb has broken that down to everything in life. The problem centers in our mind. Everything else, the fear, the insecurity, the doubt, is but a symptom. Right. So he puts those neuroplasticity, those neurosciences together. He gets them to fire and wire together. And now we're also going to give you the courage together, because we know as soon as you leave the conference, there is going to be that dragon to slay. There may be that conversation with your wife or your husband. The thing that feels so heavy. "Hey, I'm not doing what I want to do in life," or "I'm not happy. Can we work on this?" Or "I want to start my own podcast." That's where that fear is. You walk into this conference wanting to be somebody else. You walk out being that other person, but with the courage and the confidence to say, "Hey, I'm going to do this with my life. Would you like to join me?" That's the hero's journey.
Yeah. Well, the courage and the confidence and basically the steps, right? I mean, from what I'm hearing, you guys are giving them a step-by-step map of how to get there, right?
You can't just give some information and let them go out and work themselves. It's not like that. So, I mean, if you're a Mr. Ordinary, everyone has the capability and the neuroscience and the behavioral science and the hero journey that you can take to become a leader. I mean, everybody can, and people don't think they can. So, guys, if you start home listening to this and you'll never think you're going to amount to anything and you never think you're going to do anything with your life, I want to apologize to you, because somebody's put that there. A caregiver or friends. Remember when we were kids? I mean, in England, it was kicking a football or throwing it over here. Remember when we was kids? "Hey, Johnny, what do you want to be when you grow up?" "I want to be an astronaut." "What about you, Billy?" "Oh, I want to be a professional footballer." What happened to them dreams? I'll tell you, they were kicked out of us by friends and family. They were kicked out of us. "Don't be so stupid, Robert. You can't go to college like your brother. You're too stupid." And we grow up believing that. It's a lie. It's a lie. And what this conference is going to do is going to show you that lie. God bless our caregivers, not the parents' fault. And we're going to push you forward to go, you need to stop thinking like that. We need to have a different dialogue around who you want to become. So you are going to walk in there like an ordinary man. You're going to come out with a freaking cape on. I'm telling you. I'm excited about this, and I've done a few conferences speaking. I've done hundreds. But this, not because it's mine or because it's Adam's, this is where knowledge, neuroscience, confidence, journey come together. Yeah? I've been to lots of conferences. I walked out the same. This is not going to happen. This is why it's taken 30 odd years for this to come to fruition, because this is the new movement in conferences. This is what's going to storm the world. This is what's going to be done 4 or 5 times a year, because helping people is the core of our belief. Helping people, I mean, again, people think I'm crazy, like when I get people and I want them better than me. There are some guys out there that never want you as good as them, because no, that's not the case. I want you better than me. I want you earning more money, having better families, and I want you doing all of that, and we have the knowledge between us to make that happen. It's not a guesswork, guys. Well, if I do this and go there, perhaps, I'm going to spend time with you until you believe that you can do it. And when you believe and start acting, you're going to walk out there acting like a millionaire. You're going to walk out there acting like a beast. Your chest is going to be up. Your head's going to be high. You're going to walk out there knowing the secrets behind being successful. Whatever that looks like for you. It's not money with everyone. I just got to be a successful father 4 years ago, and I met my daughter again after 30 years. Whatever it looks like, but that's how you're going to walk out. Plus, your tummy's going to be big with the best Italian food in England.
And now what I fucking love, and excuse me cursing, but what I fucking love about what Dr. Robb said is, through our careers, we've both been, and don't get me wrong, we're appreciative and we're going to come back, but we've both been invited as guests to speak at conferences and to help and align other people's mission. And a lot of times what it is, and I'm not knocking them, but it's trying to give them a belief that information is in, I am success, or I am, right? So imagine it's bodybuilding. I am this, I am, well, we're going to give you the blueprint, right? We're going to actually give you the treasure map.
Yes.
And at the end of the treasure map, the treasure. Now that you have the treasure map and the treasure, Dr. Rob is going to work on your mind that you can actually believe that you should keep it, that you're worth it, that you deserve it. But we're not going to start with the feeling of after you find the treasure, and then you walk out being like, well, that was a wonderful 2 days. I did a lot of rah-rah speech, but how come the millions aren't in my bank? Because it doesn't work like that.
Right.
Faith without works is dead. So we laid out the treasure map, the steps to find the treasure, finding the treasure, and then having that positive mindset that Dr. Robb's the master at in keeping the treasure. I can't tell you how many people I know walk out, they have everything going for them, they change their mind, but give them 2 or 3 days back in their old life, and they're back to the old person. Dr. Robb's going to do plasticity in the brain. You can't go back to the same person. Your DNA has literally changed. That's the fascinating part.
That's the permanent part. That's the permanent part.
Permanent part.
That's the permanent part. Once you connect the neural pathways, it cannot be unbroken. There's a myth out there that alcohol kills brain cells. Not true. There's a myth out there you never amount to anything. Not true. And I'm going to tell you something now. I don't want to give too much away. I'm going to be rewiring brains on that stage. Okay? But listen, every neural pathway, and I have a live video of this for the show, guys, is already built in your head. Wealth, health, success, already built in our heads, okay? What we do is then flailing, oh my God, I don't think I'm going to chum. We're going to connect them for you live on stage. Then we're going to show you how to go about this journey. Listen, it's today's world. It's easy to earn $250,000 a year. It's not that hard, okay? But can you stay sane while you're doing it? Because most people grab a dream and then go out and blow it. Grab a dream, go out and blow it. You have to know, you have to have the capability of one's self-confidence in the being and the essence of one's person to understand what you do with that money. Instead of first going out and destroying or self-sabotaging, that's what most people do. So we're looking at all walks of life here. You could, again, you walk in, you bring your wife, you bring the kids over the age of 16, and we will change your family live right there and then. Your family will walk out differently to when you walked in. Because most families, there's always one in there, don't get on, the sister, the brother, whatever. We're going to show you essence We're going to show you powerful blueprints of how to actually do this. It's like somebody coming up to me going, hey, Dr. Robb, should we go rob that bank? I go, yeah, well, how do we get in? I don't know. Hey, but yeah, let's rob the bank, yeah? Okay, but yeah, let's say robbing the bank. Robbing the bank, yeah. Not going to do anything to me. If I get a guy coming out and say, hey, Rob, you want to rob that bank? Look at the blueprints. Let me show you. Let me show you how we're going to get in and out. It's like me being dropped in Germany, and I want to find Smith Street. And I pull up to the nearest guy and say, hey, can you show me where Smith Street is? Never been there. God, I think that if you go down left and not getting to Smith Street, I pull up to the next guy. I said, hey, do you know where Smith Street is? Yeah, I've already been there lots of times. Let me show you exactly how to get there. I'm going to get there. That's what this conference is all about.
Yeah, it's connecting the dots, right? Connecting the dots till you have the whole picture.
It's, I always say this, if you do the right thing, if you have the knowledge, if you have the education, if you have the inspiration around you, then what happens to me is I have like a broken jigsaw puzzle on the table, okay? And every time I do good and help someone, God's given me a piece of that puzzle, and I put that piece in. Now I can't see the whole picture because he's got the box, but I can see a little bit clearer each day as I get another piece of him and put him in. We're going to give you 100 pieces at the conference, guys. He wants to give us so much, but we ask for so little. Let's get everything sorted. Let's get everything in line. Let's get everything balanced for you and go out and live your best life and inspire people. Because this isn't about you guys. It's coming to the conference. No, you think that's automatically done. That's not even that's done. It's a done deal. This is about how many people you can go out and help after that. How many people you can inspire after that. How many jobs you can create after that and make a difference in the world. Again, if we're not changing the world, guys, what are we doing? You might as well go drink. You might as well go, sleeping with loads of women. You have to change the world, but you have to know the knowledge, and you need a blueprint behind it before you can make a move. Here, transferred to here, is a magical thing.
Yeah, Al, Dr. Robb said you're going to see the results in all of your relationships. Be your relationship with money, your relationship with your own body, your relationship with your loved ones, your relationship with your kids, your relationship with yourself. That's where you get to see the results. Dr. Robb are doing, we team up. One of the things that we both love is we're all about the results. We're all about the client. If the client walked away happy and the client walked away fulfilled, we're happy. By the way, we've been tested. We've walked away when the client feels like they're on cloud nine and the brother or the father or whoever it is, they don't like this new version. Yeah. They don't want that new version. You know what I mean? Well, we've had to stand up and say, we don't give a shit. We were hired for a reason. Our client's better. Sorry, we couldn't make them the way you wanted them, but they're better. And we've stood up to the test of time, man. We really have.
Isn't that crazy, Adam? I'm so glad that you brought that up. Isn't that crazy how other people determine how we're supposed to be, right? Because I had that happen too with a family member, right? We did not have a good relationship because I chose to take my life in a different direction. They disagreed with it. And they even said, he's changed. Right? He's not the same person. I'm glad I'm not the same person because when I figured it out, I did not like that freaking person at all. For years I did. Then I realized where I was at and I'm like, this is not who I want to be. So it's crazy how when you do change to better yourself, how it does tick off other people. And to me, it's because they're battling with their own ego. Oh my gosh, this person could be coming better than me. I'm not going to allow that to happen, right? I got to bring them back down to my level.
Exactly. It's like there's always one person in family or friends around you that doesn't want you to succeed. They want to drag you back into this cesspool and you're trying to get out and they want to drag you back. And what we end up doing is we end up listening to these guys, okay? And we end up thinking that we can't break away. That's just our life. This is our lot in life. That's not true. It's a lie. And as soon as you break away from them guys, you'll start to see your greatness. There are some people meant to go through life humdrum and they're happy with that. My brother, he works a 9 to 5 in a garage selling cars. He earns about $3,000 a month. Is happy as anything. He loves it. Doesn't help anybody. Sells a few cars. He loves it. I'm not built like that. Whether my disease had anything to do with that, I don't know. But I was working free for when I first come here for 4 years, and they foreclosed on my house because I couldn't afford to pay. But I'd rather work with somebody free than not work with them at all. So passion is here. This is what me and Adam are known for as well, is the passion. If you don't have passion behind this, come on. There has to be an end result. There has to be a blueprint. I love that word, Adam. Thank you. And the blueprint for it. And it has to go on to success. Otherwise, you've just wasted your money. And who are we? You can destroy us in a few days. It's like we're putting our heart on the line here. We're putting our education, our experience on the line here. It's all about me being humble. Adam as well. His family owned one of the biggest lace factories in the world, and he was the CEO. He walked away from that to be a coach. Can you, what? Because he wanted to help people. Yeah, it's not about the money. It never is about the money, but when you can make a move like that, that takes some balls. And that told me when I met him, because he was a humble, he picks up in a normal car, and then he takes us to his parents' house. What do your parents do for a living? He's always humble, and oh man, it's just going to be amazing. I love this guy. And
now let me give you a quick testimony. And I know we're short on time, but I think it's important. So I know my gifts and I know my skills. I really do, and I'm proud of them. I say that with humility. But it doesn't mean I don't go through my own trials and tribulations. And when Dr. Robb and I teamed up, my divorce started getting very real, right? Very real. And, there's condition. It was a 20-year marriage. This is not somebody that got married, gets divorced. This is a 20-year marriage, 2 kids. There was a whole shift in my life. And Dr. Robb knew how to speak to that old voice, the one that he knew that I loved her, that I was concerned, how hurt I was, how defeated I was. This is not coaching. And also how to build the new pathways into my mind to still step up and be Adam while I'm helping people and suffering at the same time. I'm a testimony to Dr. Robb's work. I would rather get sober again than get divorced again. That's how painful my divorce was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why? Okay, yeah. I'll have to get over the humiliation and take a white chip. But you want to know what? Then I get to go to meetings every day, and I have a community around me every day, and everyone's speaking the same language. And before I know it, everyone's rah-rahing me. And then I get to pick up medallions every 30 days. And I get all this, before you know it, I'm on a comeback. When you're getting divorced, it's a divided force. You're splitting two. And Dr. Robb was working with me to align me, literally changing the neurons in my brain. You know what I mean? So not only are we partnering up and are we there for one another as family, as friends, as partners, but I'm a testimonial. You know what I mean? I know what it's like to actually have your brain shifted. And you could look courageous, you could act the part, you could smile, you could point, you could look fit, but when this isn't right, I don't give a shit. You're just gonna end up with a gun in your head.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Handsome, chiseled, and dead.
Yeah.
Gotta work the brain. And that's why Dr. Robb's work is essential. It's essential. A hero's journey without the neural pathways being shifted is a bullshit story.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely.
Hey
guys, listen, I've just got a text on it, and I'm free till 1 o'clock, so we don't have to, just when we say, we'll just go on to we're all ready.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you can, like you just said, Adam, you can pretend all you want, right? Because I did that during the depths of my wife's addiction. People who really, really knew me started coming up to me at networking groups and going, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm freaking awesome." I didn't realize how much it was beating me down, right? I would walk out of a room that I walked into so full of energy, which I always do at a networking group or anywhere that I go. I walk in and my energy level spiked and I'm hugging everybody and I'm smiling. I would leave there completely exhausted, and I couldn't figure out why until more and more people started coming up and saying, "Are you okay?" Because I thought I was pulling the wool over their eyes really well. And then it finally dawned on me, I'm pulling the wool over my own damn eyes. Yeah. That's why I'm so exhausted, because I'm pretending to be somebody I am not right now. And I didn't know how to unplug those negative neurons, take it out of a freaking socket, that's all loose and wiggly and not firing correctly, and plug it into a new one that's nice and tight and snug, and you can actually send new energy through, right? And it's really that simple if you have the tools, which it sounds like that's what you guys are going to be teaching.
Yeah, I mean, without, I mean, when you're hanging around the people that's going to this conference, you become like them. You hang around 9 depressed people, you will become the 10th. You hang around 9 successful, you will. You know, so that's another reason why I wanted to put this on, is so that all the greatness is in that room, and all the guys that want to be great are in that room, and they can feed off each other, they can talk, they can mingle. So when you come to this conference, you're kind of taking up a little step to the other level. Remember the cesspit? You're trying to get out of that cesspit and make something of yourself. This is the place to do it. The guys that are there are gonna they know what they're doing. They're amazing. They're entrepreneurs. They're billionaires. They're millionaires. It's like that. That's what we need to get people mixing and succeeding, but you can't just go there and do that. You have to learn. You have to be teachable. You have to see what we're actually giving you. You know, again, see the blueprint we're giving you, so you can walk out as one of those guys. Who you hang around is very, very important. I forget who it was that you said, but show me your friends, I'll show you your future. You know, if you want to step up, the conference is the first space to step up and make something of yourself, or the family. Bring the whole family. Because that's what we do as well. We basically do the family systems, which I'll be doing as well. It's like when, let's say an alcoholic, for instance, when the family or wife is involved in the alcoholic recovery, the recovery rate goes up by 42%. It's the same with building a business. When the family is on board, your success rate of building that business will go up 42%. You know, all this knowledge that you need to know is one of the reasons why I'm definitely bringing my wife, even though she's also a business partner. So if you can bring your wives, great. You bring your children, let's all grow together, man, because that's what it's all about. But we have to know our greatness.
Yes.
I'm the first one to tell you here, Dr. Robb and I, we have a passion. We have a passion that's undeniable for helping people. Specifically, it started with alcoholism addiction, and just, I can't ever break anonymity and I can never break confidentiality. But one of Dr. Robb's main patients was somebody that was so profoundly known for his recovery. He was a white light when I was getting clean and sober. And I was still, even though I'm still a young kid in this game, I'm 17 years clean and sober. It was still 17 years is still old enough that it was before texting. And it was like, the cover of People magazine or In Touch was Britney Spears going to rehab or Colin Farrell going to rehab. And it was basically, if you're an alcoholic, you're shunned, it's a bad thing. Something has happened. I don't know if we should say thank you to social media. Where Dr. Robb and I have been pushed, not even willingly, we've been pushed into, it's really about mental health, right? So we love alcoholism, we love addiction, it's what we're really, really comfortable in, but he's been pushed into the neuroscience, which pushes you into success. It pushes you into what keeps you fit, what keeps you wealthy, what keeps you healthy, what keeps you on the beam. This is not how we developed. We had a passion for helping people the way we were sick and got well. And something in the last 10 years has literally pushed us. Mental health is on everybody's radar. It's not just for the alcoholics anymore. It's for people getting shot in the middle of the mall. It's for your young, kid's best friend that's on every SSRI and needs sleeping pills to go to sleep at 12 years old. So we kind of just followed the path. And this is what's happened. We're not stuck in just our original community. Dr. Robb and I have been forced to help everybody.
Yeah. And Adam, I believe this is just my belief. I believe the reason why you and Dr. Robb are going down that path that you're going and why it's brought you to this point, it's because you are out there to help people. Because I am a firm believer when you're out there helping other individuals with not expecting anything in return from them, you're just doing it because you want to do it, good things start happening to you without you even realizing it, right? Until one day you wake up and go, oh my gosh. I mean, I was a guy who all I gave a shit about was me. I could care less about anyone else. As long as I was getting what I wanted, that's all that mattered. 2009, my life completely changed. completely changed. I wanted to figure out who Al Richards really was as an individual, because I realized I did not like that human being that I was, because I was a chameleon. I could adapt to whatever situation was there, and I could fit right in while I was pulling the wool over your eyes, manipulating you, just so I could get what I wanted. Now that I've been on this path with my wife's alcoholism and my past with cocaine and alcohol, what is happening in my life right now, and I get emotional talking about it and where it's going, I know it's happening because I'm not asking anybody for nothing. I'm just going because I want people to understand. I want people to be happy. I want people to realize how much love and kindness that there is out there. I want people to know there's individuals like you and Dr. Robb who give a shit about other individuals, who want to be there to help them. And that's what's leading us down where we need to go, right? That's just how I'm seeing it. Because if you asked me 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, if I saw myself where I am today with where I've built this podcast and how I'm starting to be so well known in the recovery community here in Salt Lake City, Utah, I would have said your head so far up your rear end, there's no way in hell. And it's happened without me even realizing it's happened. And it's because I want to put my hand out there. It's because somebody just did a testimonial video for me, which I'm still waiting for yours, Dr. Robb, by the way. That just said, thank you for this platform. Thank you.
I'll do it straight after this.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for allowing me to share my voice, right? To open up so people can hear our journeys. That's why when Courtney reached out to me and said, hey, would you be willing to have Adam and Dr. Robb on to talk about their conference? I didn't even hesitate. It's like, hell yes. It's an absolute, because they are there. And I know this from the first time I interviewed Dr. Robb. You guys are there to help other people. And by hell, I will be the first one to raise my hand and say, what can I do to help you do that?
I know, it's amazing. I'm sure Adam gets to say, I don't know, but this is what I get. Oh yeah, Dr. Robb, that guy, he charges too much, he's living in that big house, drives that crazy car, blah, 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 lock it in. But what you don't see is the $150,000 that me and Janet gave back into the community last year. What you don't see is the foundation that we're pushing out to help other people, alcoholic or not, to help. The talks that we do free of charge. They're leaving in the middle of the night to go and help somebody and bring them into safety. All this stuff we do that people don't see, which I think gives us what we have today. Because when I was homeless for 14 months, sleeping under benches and in bus stations, and lost my children, my wife, everything, houses, cars gone. I thought that was the worst thing in the world that could ever happen to a human being. I hated God, I hated friends, I hated everybody right now. I was just wanting to die. Now, when I came through that to where I am 10 years ago, let's say, I realized that what I went through was like a semester at Harvard. The knowledge that we can pass on, not the college, not the university, the knowledge you get from going through that period of your life to helping, alcoholics, entrepreneurs, food porn, sex, businessmen who've lost their way, women that have lost their identity. It all comes as one package, becoming my greatest asset going forward. And I'm sure it's Adam's as well, because you're not going to meet one of the best coaches in the world, Adam Jablin. You're not going to meet a coach with his background. I'm sorry, but you're not. So when people say to me, Adam Jablin's an amazing coach, I kind of not cringe at coach. I'm like, you have no idea. You have no idea what guy's gone through to be where he is today. You have no idea how he's shown the millions and millions and millions, if not hundreds of millions, to do what he does today. That's commitment. That's giving back. That's before we do anything, is what we do in the background. And I think if we didn't do that, we wouldn't be as successful as we are. So we owe a lot of it to you guys for allowing us to help you, for allowing us to set you free. But at the same time, we both run a business, we have staff to pay, we have buildings to pay for, stuff like that. But I think you're right, Al. I think giving back is the number one key to freeing yourself up for life. Because we sit in this prison all the time. We get put in our place by somebody. I was meant to grow up, get a job like my dad's, digging the roads to lay the gas pipes down. live on the project, have a couple of children, and that was my lot. That's what I said. And when I tried to pull away from that because of my addiction, a lot of people didn't like me. You can't do this, you can't do that. Don't ever, anybody ever tell you that you can't do something. And if you ever say to yourself, it's impossible, I'm going to throw an apostrophe at you, put it between the I and the N, and say, I'm possible. Because that's what it's all about. It's mindset with a blueprint for success. Go on, baby!
And Al, it may sound like a love fest, and but I do think it's important that people know when they come in the room, there's two people that really love and respect one another, but also have done the work. So I want to just give you a little side story of what I've seen. Now, let's use top 5 list, because if I start breaking confidentiality, he'll never talk to me again. But if you look up the top 5 actors in the last 10 years, the top 5 guitarists ever, and the top 5 rappers ever, Dr. Robb worked with all of them throughout their lives, and they still stay in touch with them. So you can have fun with that. Top 5, okay? On every single list, rapper, top 5 movie star, and top 5 guitarist. That's on every single list of everybody's. These people, you can find a common denominator. Dr. Robb's working with these people, helping these people. Now, meanwhile, when he's doing that, you almost see like the doctor in him come out. But if you ever want to also see Dr. Robb, mention his daughter, Charlie, or how he helps all these homeless people with addiction. See this other side of him come out. We've been on the road, and this is no one's filming him. No one's doing it for social media. We were outside at Mateo's, and Dr. Robb gave a bum on the street $100, right? Because of the feeling he gave him and the feeling he gave all of us.
Yeah.
I've seen him perform with the best of the best in the world. But that's when he's being a doctor. If you really want to see his heart, mention Janet, Charlie, or watch what he does as service work.
Oh, thank you.
That's a real man. That's somebody I want to align my life with.
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't you? You guys have talked about it throughout the show, right? I mean, you become the same type of person of the top 5 people you hang around with. That's no freaking joke. That is so freaking true. And I think Dr. Robb even said that's scientific proof.
Yeah.
I mean, you hang around people that don't want to take their life anywhere. That's exactly where you're going to go as well. And I've realized that, just by doing what I'm doing and hanging around the people that I'm hanging around. And I have said this on the show many, many times. Dr. Robb has said it a lot today in the show. I am. Those are the 2 most powerful words that I could ever think of, because the words that follow I am follow you. That's just how I'm seeing it. And there's so many places that an individual can go. You're not ever stuck. It's our subconscious that's telling us we're stuck there. We're not ever stuck, ever. All you got to do is change that mindset. And again, to have people like yourselves who give that blueprint to say, this is how you do it. And I'll give a quick example. About 6 years ago, I went to this class that a friend invited me to. This teacher said, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do this little thing to show you guys how easy it is to change your mind. Everyone got up, moved their chairs. We all got in this big circle. There was probably about 40 of us. They turned off the lights. The lady said, I want you to look down in front of you and draw an imaginary circle in front of you. When I say count to 3, I want you to close your eyes and take a step into that circle. And I want you to think of something that really makes you mad. Something that makes you mad or sad. 1, 2, 3, everyone closes their eyes. They step in there. I don't know how long we're in that circle. She says, step back, open your eyes, look around the room. I watch people with their jaws clenched. Both my fists were up like this. You saw some people crying. And she was asking people, how do you feel? And people were like, oh my gosh, I am so angry, right? I'm so sad right now. And everyone's sharing their emotions. She goes, okay, we're going to do this same exercise again. This time, when I count to 3, I want you to close your eyes and step in that circle and think of something that makes you happy. So we did that. We sat in that circle, who knows how long. She says, step back, open your eyes, look around the room. Everyone had a freaking smile on their face. At that moment, she says, that's how simple it is. we make it difficult. It's not that difficult. And it really helped me with what was going on in my life at the time, because I had just had my first granddaughter. And to have your first grandchild is such, see, it's the emotions. It's such an amazing feeling. It's so freaking, I mean, I cried when my daughters were born. I probably cried for 2 days when my grandchild was born, because that's the effect it had on me. Every time I got in those moods where I was in that circle feeling angry or sad, all I had to do was pick up my phone and pull up a picture of that little girl, and all that shit disappeared just like that. So I'm sure with your guys' blueprint, you guys are going to change the world. That's how I'm seeing it.
I like that, Alan. Thank you. Thank you. It's just, we have all this knowledge again. And it's like, it's so easy to change your perspective, and it's so easy to change mindset around anything that you do. But you've got to know what to do. And I'll give you a little instance. One of the reasons why no human being ever has woke up laughing is because of lack of oxygen. So I'm going to get into detail in this in the conference. But when oxygen is present is the absence of disease. So all the cancers, the growth, the inflammation growing in hypoxic area of your life. So we're going to give you routines to do in the morning that'll flood that brain, and you'll think better, you'll act better, you'll perform better. Just little things like that have come to new science lately that's going to change your life. And again, it's how long to create a neural pathway? 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I can actually rewire someone's brain in about 40 minutes, 20, 30, 40 minutes, something like that. It's all about the prospect. It's all about knowing how good you really are, how powerful you really are inside, but never been able to release that because of people around you telling you that you can't, not good enough, stay in your place. It's wrong, guys. So when you do go to this conference and you come out feeling great, that's one of the reasons why. There's going to be subliminal messages from the stage that you don't even know you're receiving that will make you feel great. There's things that Adam's going to tell you that will blow your mind. I'm telling you guys, you're going to walk out that conference with a cape on you, because we don't fail. We put our money where our mouth is, so to speak. It's all this neuroscience and hero journey combined that's going to blow the top off, and I'm putting my neck out. It's going to be the best conference this year, and next year when we do forum, it's going to be the best conferences, and by year 3, you won't be able to buy a ticket. I'm sorry, but you won't. That's just the way it's going. We're not messing with this stuff. Everything we touch works out, but it works out for a reason. We've both paid our dues. We've both gone to hell and back. We know what it looks like. I didn't actually go to hell when I was on the streets, but you know something, Al? I could sure fucking see it from where I was. That's for sure. We've done our working, we've done our apprenticeship, we've done our training to get us to this point. And now we want to influence and change as many people as humanly possible over the next 10 years. And that is our mission.
Al, this has happened with so many people. It happened with me with Dr. Robb also, but it happened with Pippin and Michael Jordan. Bob Proctor was one of these guys. He was a student of Napoleon Hill's and Think and Grow Rich. But one of the things that always puzzled him was, how come there's only a very, very small percentage of the people that read the book the way he does and is actually able to use the information and obtain it for all this wealth, right? Why is that? And what he finally came down to was, we need each other. He's just an anomaly. Most people read that book, put it down, they don't get rich. They'll pick up a little bit. Well, when you put Dr. Robb and I together, we're going to make you feel strong. So you're not just getting the information. Honestly, it's the information age. A lot of the here, they may be able to find here on YouTube, or it's actually anchoring it into your nervous system and into the brain with Dr. Robb and I, that you're able to keep it. So if the 3 of us go and we just start playing golf and swinging, it's great. But if the 3 of us spend time with Tiger Woods, that one day with Tiger is going to make all the fucking difference in the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
All the difference. Just by copying, emulating, studying, listening, putting it into our nervous system. That's why Dr. Robb and I want to do this live.
And I love that, Rob, and I know we got to get finishing up here because you guys got things to do. I'm the type of person that you give me a book, I'll pick up things in the book, right? However, I will probably only grab maybe 2 or 3% of that knowledge. and I'm just being flat honest with, that's how I am as an individual. I'm more of that hands-on, right? So if somebody grabs my hand and says, here, let me show you step by step how to do it, I'm more of that, give me that information and show me, I'll pick up on it like that. And it sounds like that's what you guys are doing with this conference. You're literally walking them through step by step, because I have gone to conferences before where I have walked out going, man, I'm on top of the freaking world. And then I get home and I'm going through the material that they gave me to read. Within 3 days, I don't ever touch it again. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
I'll have a small percent, right? So when I have something that's going to walk me through it, and Dr. Robb, the last time I interviewed you, you did that breathing step, the 10 times. I have been using that. So thank you. I haven't got to where I'm doing it on a daily basis, but my brain's starting to catch on now, and it's starting to happen more and more and more. What a huge difference just in what little times that I have done it. And sometimes if I forget, when I wake up and do my morning routine, I'm doing it on the way to the gym. And it has helped me so much.
100%. You're getting all that oxygen. You know, show me, don't tell me is one of my biggest lines. You know, show me how to do it. Don't tell me, show me how to do this, that I want to achieve this. Show me how I can do this. And there's a big difference between telling people how to do it and showing them. Because everybody has the skills, the mindset, as long as they have the belief. So let's say a doctor spends, I don't know, 9 years in medical school and college together to go out and do a knee operation. Most people, okay, most people could go in that surgery room, okay, and watch a doctor for a week doing knee surgery, and we could do it. We could do it, you know? So all the teaching and go in, watch him, do it. Come to the conference, watch us do it. That's how most people's minds work. That, you know, I spend so much time in books at college, it's unreal. I never read, very, very rarely read today, because the mind was blown with all that stuff. Show me how it can be whatever you want to be. Show me how it can be successful, whatever that looks like for you. Show me. Don't tell me. I've had all these other conferences trying to tell me, and it never works. Show me. And I think that's going to be the difference as well with the conferences. We're going to show you. We're going to give you everything that we have, and the blueprint there says that we're successful. Common knowledge out in the world today will tell you that we are successful. If you want what we have, you got to do what we do. Show me.
I love it. Yeah. So guys, how do they find this conference? How does somebody know where to go in? Where do you go to buy a ticket?
Doc, let them know. You're on fire.
Hey guys, it's the neuroheroconference.com. The neuroheroconference.com. Jump on there. We have sponsors. We have about 7 sponsors still left, guys. You want to get your company, get your banners up and everything, get your books out. There's about 7 left there. And of course, you can buy all your tickets, different standards. You can go from the package up here, VIP package, where you get more of me and Adam, and our wives and girlfriends get of me and Adam. We'll spend a lot of time with you, and then there's different prices, obviously. So get on, book the ticket. If you can't afford to pay right now, call Janet or Courtney. They'll take a deposit, no problems. We just want you there for the right reasons. And if you think for a second that you just might go because of all the other people going and you don't really want to learn anything, don't go.
Yeah.
Don't go. I'm trying to sell you something here. I don't freaking sell you. You have to earn that ticket, by the way. We want to see how good you are, who you are. You know, you got to come and you got to earn it, man. It's simple as that. Well, you can't buy our services. Are you freaking joking? You got to earn them. But when you do earn them, oof, wow, it's going to change you.
And we'll make sure that link is on the caption as well. So yeah, it'll be there for everyone. Adam, is there anything you'd like to share before we sign off here?
Well, I'd like to share that I'm honored to be doing this with Dr. Robb, and I'm honored to be on your show today. And, you know, we really are encouraging people to come because this is going to be a moment. You know, we decided to choose Boca Raton, Florida because of its beauty, its happiness, that alive feeling. We're going to be giving a lot of our time, all of our time, all of our heart, And hit us up with any questions. We're going to help you. But really, one of the main things I'd like to, it's something that I feel so passionate about are these VIP tickets. Dr. Robb and I put a lot of time in that. If you're going to put the money in, we want to deliver. So it's, front row, it's hours with us, it's dinners, you're going to get a real experience on top of the experience. So check that out. Think about it. We're here for you.
I love it. Dr. Robb.
I got to tell you guys, I don't know how Adam did it, but this is all in. He got us, he's well known on Boca Raton. He's kind of a big thing. He'll never tell me that. But he's got Mateo's. Now, Mateo's, like you said, the number one restaurant in South Florida. I mean, I've been in there and seen so many crazy, affluent people, and he's got it for 2 days. So you get to come into one of the most affluent areas of Florida, but you get to eat in one of the best restaurants around there. So we're going the extra mile for you guys. We've also got my travel agent girl. You'll see it on the website. Click that button. She'll sell all your rooms out. We have rooms booked ready for you to come into and just pay the price, obviously. We're ready to go. We get your flights going for you. Obviously, you pay your flights as well. The ticket is obviously walking into the premises. But we can just make a phone call, press a link on it. Janet, Courtney, or Tonya will be on, and they'll walk you through and price everything. And all you're going to do is pay. Everything will be sorted. So we're all having a great time. I know about 5 people from San Antonio. They all might want to go on the same plane as me and Janet. It's crazy. It's like, make sure you get me on that plane with Dr. Robb and Janet. It's like, oh yeah, it's going to be one huge family, man, I'm telling you. And you know what the craziest thing is? It's because Adam and I really love people and helping people, is we are going to come away from that different people.
Yeah. That is so true. When I walked away from our summit this past April, I definitely walked away a totally different person. Because we're just not helping other individuals. It's kind of like in the recovery, right? Both you guys know that when we're out there helping people in the recovery, in their recovery, it's actually helping us just as much, if not more. So,
and listen, Al, before you go, Adam and I want to thank you for what you do, brother. I know sometimes we get lonely in this world, the podcasting world, and what we do, helping others. But we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for doing what you do today, to standing up and being counted, to being the voice of addiction and recovery. And again, we want to thank you for having us on today. It's been our pleasure, believe it or not.
Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate it. I'm excited. We're about, I think, 6 shows out from hitting our 200th episode, and I'm just very blessed and grateful to be doing this. And I'm not getting paid to do it, but man, this is my passion. I love meeting individuals like yourself, and with that, guys, thank you for your time. Thank you so much with what you guys are doing to change the world, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're just not changing individuals, you're changing the world, and the world needs to be changed right now for the better. And it takes individuals like yourself and so many other people who are out there that love and care for others, because again, that's what it's all about.
I've just thought of something out. Do you know what's going to make your conference bigger than anything else?
What's that?
Adam and I speak there. Boom! Let's all do it. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it before you go. Come on, hands up.
Hey,
there you go. Bang, baby.
If you guys want to come on and we're not big enough yet to pay for you, but you guys want to come on, man, we would love to have you, because our goal is to do the same thing. We call it here the Healing Utah Success Summit. We have just gotten the domain where it's just called the Healing Success Summit. Our goal, Mallory and I, we want to go to Wyoming. We want to go to Arizona. We want to go to Idaho. We want to do more here in Utah. That's our vision, right? We want to go out there and inspire individuals. We're not at the level you two guys are, right? We are just starting our path, but we are taking our knowledge and we're taking our past and we're doing what we can to change people's lives. And what's crazy, quick story, the gentleman who I asked to be our MC at our April event, I met this gentleman at a men's group. And it's a men's group where it's all men coming together and we're talking about things. And I've never been in a room full of men that cried that much, right? It's literally men being real men. And I met this gentleman and I asked him to be our MC. He's been on TED Talks and he's done some other things. An amazing gentleman. he was in the addiction realm. His nickname was Chaos, drove the Harley everywhere he went. He caused chaos because of his addiction and alcoholism. I brought him onto the committee, and he didn't really push much, right? Because he just couldn't grasp what this summit was about, no matter how many times I explained it to him. At the end of our freaking summit, he came up to me and apologized probably a dozen times and said, I am so sorry for not knowing what this was about. You changed my freaking life today. And he went home and he told every one of his family members, the next time we have one, every single one of you are going to buy a ticket and come to this event. And that's what made us feel so good. That's what made us good, because we just changed his life, and he's been out changing other people's lives. And now he's actually speaking. So guys, thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for your time and being on here, for your kind words. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to all our listeners, all our sponsors who have made this possible, all our guests, because really our guests and our listeners are the ones that's making this podcast to continue to grow. It's not me. All I have, I'm just a voice here. I just got a platform. It's the people that are coming on that's making this possible. So thank you guys very much for all your support and love. We're going to leave you with this, as we do at the end of every show. Remember, addiction is giving up everything for one thing, and recovery is giving up one thing for everything. We're out.